I'm going to hit record. Hey, everybody, this is Christina Delgado, and it is December 13th, our second team call of December. Again, cannot believe that this year is here. It came, it went, it's almost gone, and we're closing the year off strong. I know we are, because there's momentum. I feel it. I feel it in your energy, in your activity, in your posts on social media. If you're following my posting schedule for the Beachbody Health Bet, I think our next post is going to be on the 16th. So stay up to date on that. Make sure you're using the same image that we used on Sunday night. You're going to reuse that same image, and then we're going to post it again one last time to do our final call for the Beachbody Health Bet. We're going to nail in Success Club before Christmas. That's the goal, guys, because once that week comes, people are very distracted. I've been in the business long enough to understand that our business basically comes to a halt on the week of Christmas because, hey, everybody is entitled to their family time, their downtime. They get off social media, which is something that I encourage everyone to do so that you have a great Christmas and New Year's. But with that said, we got to hustle. We got to hustle right now. So I want everyone to really focus and hammer down on getting your customers on their challenge packs. Remember that after this month, we're not going to have these sales on the challenge packs anymore. You'll understand why a little later this week. I cannot share those details yet, but understand that these are things that you can be telling your customers to get them to commit now instead of waiting until January. We've got the health bet. They got to get their packs in time for the health bet. And this is the last month that the 21-day fix, quarter force, all those great challenge packs will be on sale. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this call over to our very special guest. Before I get to them, if at any moment your line unmutes or you see that you are unmuted, please mute yourself so that we have a clear recording of this call. I have a feeling it's going to be an outstanding call and a great tool that we can use in the future for our new coaches and for our trainings. So without further ado, I want to invite my friends Jamie and Kim Fitzpatrick to take over and share with us how in the world they have taken Canada by storm and had such amazing success in this business in a relatively short period of time. So I'm going to go over their stats, and I want you guys to put this in perspective in terms of time so you can understand how amazing this power couple is, why I adore them so much. I got to meet them at Leadership for the first time in San Diego. We had some amazing late night conversations at the bar, and I literally said, these guys are the real deal. I want to get to know them better. And of course, I think I told Kim that night, I said, you guys need to be on our call. So here they are, and I'm so pumped. Jamie, I have to read this stuff because I couldn't memorize it because it's just so much. Jamie, check this out, guys. He sold his first challenge pack in March of last year. Let that soak in for a second. In March of 2015, he sold his first challenge pack. He is currently ranked number 6 in the entire company, number 2 in Canada. He's a Success Club 10 All-Star. He's a 7-star diamond in 9-star diamond qualification and is already elite qualified. That means he's already locked in to be a 2016 elite coach. His gorgeous, drop-dead, beautiful wife, Kim, check this one out. She became active. So she was an inactive coach until July 2015. That's just like 15, 16 months ago. She is currently ranked number 53 in the entire company, number 13 in Canada, is a Success Club 10 All-Star, a 3-star diamond in 5-star qualification. So once she gets through her 5-star qualification, she is officially a 2016 elite coach. Yeah, fingers crossed, right? We always gotta figure this. It's over to the fat lady thing, right? So you guys, I'm gonna stop talking because I could gloat about you guys for hours. They're gonna talk to us tonight, not only sharing their story, but about authenticity and branding on social media. So take it away.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was the best intro we've ever had.
I know.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We talked about it today. We're like, can you believe we're on Christina Delgado's call?
No,
like,
I know. We were like,
yeah, really, really honored to be on here. And yeah, it's like, you kind of know when you meet certain people if you're going to click or not. And yeah, we kind of felt that way about you and Danny too when we met you at the bar. But thank you for having us. So we'll jump right in. And I think, it's similar to what Christina, when Christina was on our call too, it's kind of like, we're probably not going to give you any grand secrets that you're going to be like, wow, I never knew that. But I think hearing it in maybe a different format from different people, we'll share kind of our experience, what we've gone through on social media and the landscape of it all. And I know it's crazy and there's lots of platforms, but we'll kind of share what's worked for us, what's been effective for us, and hopefully some of that resonates with you. So, I mean, first and foremost, let's start with our story because, I think it's important to know sort of where we came from as customers. And we were probably using Shakeology. Well, you were using Shakeology first.
was.
Listen, here's the funny part. I was that husband. I was that spouse who, when that box showed up at the door, I don't even know it was green then. We're going back 4 or 5 years now. I was that.
I don't think it was green.
I was that dude who was like, this is expensive. Like, what are you're getting
and
this every
I would
month?
actually say to him, I'd say, oh, no, I canceled it. Oh, it just came again. I don't know what's happening.
She'd legit lie to me.
Because I would needed it in my life. I believed in it and I loved it and it was my thing versus Starbucks and a breakfast sandwich, right? That was $7 and however much.
Canadian.
And then I'd go to Whole Foods and buy a Fiji water bottle, like my breakfast for $10 a day.
Yeah.
so it was much better.
Yeah, I finally started drinking it. I came around, obviously. And I mean, now, of course, we find it, I'd pay more for it. But so here's the crazy part is that we probably used Shakeology for a couple of years before we became coaches.
Yeah.
And I always say this, like, listen to this. And this is why inviting is such a daily or a vital behavior. And it's something you need to do daily. At least we preach it on our team. In those years we were customers, nobody in Beachbody reached out to us about coaching. And we were active on social media. Like, the point is, there are people out there that want to work this business. They just don't know it's available yet. So don't think this is saturated. Don't think any of that stuff because we're living proof that, like, and I don't say this out of ego. We're very modest, but like I always say, like, we'd look pretty good on someone's weak leg. And here's the thing. Nobody reached out to us. We never even actually heard about the coaching opportunity from anyone. In the years that we were customers. So I think it's a good thing. Like, there's people out there who want to do this business. So you have to stay so consistent with those vitals. And I know you hear it all the time. You're like, oh God, invite again. But I'm telling you, you never know that next person that you connect with, you never know.
And guys, and I'll dive into this very deeply, but you also have to stay very consistent in your communication of your intentful messaging and your posting. Every day, right? Because if people don't know what you're doing, they're not going to clue in when they walk into an Apple store and see Beachbody sitting there that, hey, maybe that person on social media can help me with that, right? So anyway.
So yeah, so back, it's just, it's such a good point because I think you need to reach out to people because you never know who that next coach is that could change your whole downline, your volume situation, all that stuff. So our story, so we were customers. I got on board with the Shakeology. It took me about 6 years to sign up, or 6 months, because like anything new, you're nervous. You don't want to try something new. I'm kind of OCD, ADD, so I knew if I was going to dive into coaching, I knew I was like 180% all in. I don't do things half-assed. I'm kind of an all-in or all-out kind of guy. So
this isn't your first rodeo. You've also you're an entrepreneur before as well. So
yeah, we had a chain of stores and stuff. So I was looking for something else to do. And I literally, once I made the decision to coach, I almost signed up with this gentleman in the United States. He was buddies with Tony Horton. I'd see these pictures of him hanging out with Tony, and Tony's my guy. Like, I lost 60 pounds using P90X, going back to my story. So in my company and stuff, I gained 60 pounds. Stressed out. This is about 5 or 6 years ago. Ordered P90X off the infomercial. So Tony's my guy. And then, it kind of led me to a path of health and stuff. And then once I decided to coach, I basically, I was going to sign up with this guy in the US, and Kim's sister's network marketer in Stellendot. And she's like, Jamie, why don't you just like, before you sign up with this guy, just like find out who the top coach is in Canada and like, just maybe sign up with that guy. So I literally Googled top coach in Canada, and my upline, Miguel Carrasco, came up, and I emailed him immediately. It kind of felt like a job interview. I filled out his form and stuff, and he literally, he called me within 30 seconds of my email. And I was like, what the heck? And that kind of set the tone for me, because I don't know if you know about Miguel, but Miguel is an incredibly hard worker. And from that phone call going forward, he set the tone of like, this is how you run your business. You're efficient, you're effective, you get back to people right away, you work your butt off. And that's kind of the tone I set. And then I kind of ghosted on Miguel for about a month. We were going on holidays. I didn't do anything. He probably thought I was a lost coach soul in the universe again. But I came back and started going. And that was we ran our first accountability group in late March.
Yep.
And that's how we got into it. And it has been an insane, awesome ride. It's kind of changed our lives. And but yeah, that's our story. And then do you want to tell kind of how you
Yeah,
came
absolutely. On? So when Jamie started doing this, again, it was this other, again, he had thought about doing a couple of things, and he said, okay, I've got this idea. We have been doing Beachbody products for a really long time. We've done every program you can imagine. We have tried it. However, I wasn't fully completely dedicated to it until I started doing the accountability group with Jamie. So I was the classic person of, I'm going to start again Monday. I am going to eat everything I can find on Sunday because I'm going to start Monday. I was that person, right? And I went through these waves. I was such a self-saboteur. I lost my mom when I was little. When I was 11 months old, and my whole life I was searching for this thing, this void. I was searching to fill this void. And what it was is I just had to figure out my own self-love, and I had to get myself in the game of understanding how I was going to show up in my life every day. And I didn't realize that until my upline, aka my husband, took this opportunity on, and I became a client and a customer in our own accountability group. So while I was healing myself, and it was a 7-year journey, it was far before 2 years, but it all started to click. All the work I had done. I'm a serial self-help junkie, but self-help is only shelf-help if you don't put it into action. And now I finally was putting it into action. And what I realized is, as I was helping people and I was empowering people and I was empowering me, I was getting better. I was getting stronger. And I realized I was coaching, but I didn't have any time for coaching, don't you know, because I was working a corporate job. I was finishing my degree. We had 2 young kids, blah, blah, the list goes on and on and on. But I loved it. And it became a love and a passion that fulfilled me on a deeper level than has ever, I remember starting back in college saying I was going to be a camp counselor for the rest of my life. That was my passion in life. I was going to become a camp counselor. And I was very successful in my corporate career in senior in retirement living, long-term care, did a lot of very high level things, and actually was able to, resign from my full-time corporate job in June, thankfully to this opportunity and this hard work, and also the belief that Jamie had in me once I started coaching. The big game changer for me, guys, was I went to an event. I went to an event with Jamie, and I had already been coaching, and I was bringing him home coaches, and I'd be bringing him home coaches. I'd be bringing him home challengers, because it was just, when you share what you are passionate about, I wear Beachbody on my body. I love it so much. And, not that you have to walk around saying Beachbody, but I walk around saying me, who believes in a product, who believes in a system, who believes in a way, who believes in a better way. And that's how this all started happening. And when I went to the event, I looked at Jamie, I'm like, I'm all in. I'm all in. This is August 2015. And we kind of haven't looked back since. So that's a little bit of my story. and I believe that we have to be products of the products. And I finally figured out how the 4 vital behaviors fit so beautifully into our life and into how we lead and coach and lead ourselves, but also lead our greater tribe.
Yeah, you don't have to look too far. Like, there's a pretty common denominator among what you would deem successful coaches or whatever that is to you. It's passion.
Yeah.
Like, they ooze this stuff. Like, it's not a mystery, right? Like, people get fired up about this, and that's that belief you have to have for what we're doing in the programs. And that just like oozes out of your pores when you're talking to people. It comes through in everything you do. And I don't think people are actually conscious of this. You're having trouble selling challenge packs. You're having trouble signing up coaches. I hate to say it, but it's probably stuff that you think certain ways about the product and stuff. That's probably what it is. Because if you really have that passion and love for it, it's pretty hard to stop that from coming out. And people feel that so much. Yeah. And that's all in the tone in your conversations and stuff. So let's quickly go in, because we can ramble, as you see. So we don't want to be here for 2 hours. So I'm going to talk about 4 things first, and then Kim's going to go into some specific stuff about social media that she does really well. But 4 things I think that are vital for your business, and also building a brand on social media, because I get it. It can be scary. There's a lot of things to manage. I know people worry about what people think, and that's the big thing. But first and foremost, and I think this is the one thing why we've kind of been able to build a team fairly quickly, is I think everybody on our team, they know where we're going. They know where Kim and I and the team is going. And we don't refer to it as where we're going. We refer to it as where is our team going to end up at the end of 2016? Where are we going to be at the end of 2017? You ask anyone on our team, they're like, oh no, we know. They talk about it a lot, because we're on a train, and we want people to get on board our train to know where it's going, right? That's the thing. Summer Tucker talked about it in the video, and she hit the nail on the head. It's people have to know where you're going on this ride. They have to know what kind of passion you have for this and where you want to take this, because people aren't going to get on your train if there's no destination. They just won't. They don't know where you're going. And that's half the battle, guys. So you have to have a vision. And yeah, it's about small goals and large goals, and goal setting's obviously important, but you got to have this greater vision that's burned into your soul about this business. And maybe if you're not at that level yet, maybe it's more PD, maybe it's more development and stuff like that. But you got to have that kind of burning desire for where you want to get to in this business. And it's about your why too.
100%. And I think, guys, just to piggyback on that point about your train, is that you have to be able to visualize where you're going to be in 3 to 5 years from now. Don't just sit right here. Don't just live right here in this comfort zone or what you know is right. You need to find out where you're going to be over here, and you're going to need to work your way back and put those actions and those visions and how you're going to get there. Because if you can be your best you 5 years from now, you're going to be unstoppable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A second thing I talk about a lot is, and it's really hard to define, I think you have to define it for yourself. You have to have some grit. You have to have some grit in this business, because especially building a brand on social media, because listen, it's easy to take pot shots on social media, right? You guys get it. And sometimes it's from people really close to you. We've all had that happen. Close friends and stuff aren't comfortable with what you're doing. That's about them, not about you, right? That's completely about them, not about you. But you have to have some grit in this. It's not going to go like this. It's going to go like this. And you got to power through. And it kind of ties in with my next point. This is a big Gary Vee thing too, is you have to have this combination of grit and patience. You got to power through the tough times, you guys. And I know you've heard this before, but it's just a fact. People will go to university. They'll go to university for 4 years, go 100,000. Well, in Canada anyway. I don't know what your bills are down there now, but they'll spend $100,000 on 4 years of university for a degree, hoping to get a job. And society goes, yeah, of course you go into debt for that. Of course you go into $100,000 debt for that. That's normal. Everyone does that, But the crazy part is there's so many people who don't have the patience to ride this out for a year, 6 months, 3 months. Like, this is a long journey, you guys. You look at any of the top coaches, and we're baby coaches for the most part, so we can't even really talk about this. But you look at any of the 4, 5, 6, 7-year coach income, the income progressions.
Like Christina Delgado.
No, but like they're not getting places in a year or two, you guys. Like, this is a long-term thing. But society views it's okay to go into debt to get your degree, but boy, do something like this where you have to, not even invest any money. You just have to work really hard over an extended period of time, and people just want to pack it in.
100%. And we actually had a really good coach that had an amazing analogy. And this is what she said to her husband. Hey, hubby, it took you 7 years to become a chartered accountant, right? Okay. So I need you to give me 7 years to build my business. I need you to give me 7 years to go to school, so to speak, and build my business. And it's true. Like, even me in my senior living, it took me 16 years to build my career. 16 years to get to where I am now. And all it does is it takes time, it takes tenacity, it takes grit, and it takes belief in yourself that every single day you show up, you are building your competence. And your competence, guys, builds your confidence. So the more competent you are, the more confident you will be. And the better you will be at your job, the better leader you will be, the better coach you will be, and the better you will be, for sure.
Mm-hmm. No, I know, again, it's that when you build up that, like you said, that competence builds that confidence, man, that just carries over in everything you do as a coach, from getting customers on board, from helping people and coaches in your downline. Like, it's so important. And that's why you get sick of hearing about personal development, but it's so essential, right? So yeah, and that the grit and patience part for me, and I have to remind myself to have grit too. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I had a tough day yesterday, and I was like, Jamie, show some freaking grit right now. Like, you gotta suck stuff up sometimes and just power through that, because you're gonna have really tough times.
And we can't feel sorry for ourselves in this day, guys. Here's the thing. We are CEOs of our business. And here's the thing. When we feel sorry for ourselves, or we feel like we're down, we are being employees in our business. We are not being CEOs in our business. So don't act like an employee, act like a CEO, right? Be resourceful. Be a resource, and
the odd time she's whispered to me, I think you need to act like a CEO right now. So.
But and sometimes I'm saying, can I be an employee and ask you a question? However, you just need to know that you are the CEO of this, and that you can't feel sorry for yourself. And at the times, we need to embrace that pain, because pain or failure is only the other side of success. That's when you get to success, guys, is when you experience that failure, that pain, that having those low days. Mm-hmm. But then we have to be the ones to pull ourselves out of it, because guess what? We are our CEOs, right? Yeah. We're the CEOs. You got to pull yourself out of that.
So yeah, and like on social media, again, the patience, and I don't know how many new coaches are on the call, anything like that, but it takes time to build up people with, you're not going to get 100 likes on your first step. Not that it's about likes, but it takes time to get traction and stuff. And Kim's going to touch a bit more on this. So my last point is, and this is a big one for me, I talk about this all the time. I think in social media, with your brand and in this business, man, you have to have courage. You have to have so much courage. And part of it, I don't know if you've seen the movie We Bought a Zoo. It's like such an underrated movie, and they talk about, he talks about having 10 seconds of courage and having these moments of courage. It's almost like the 5-second rule. If someone asks you to do something, just say yes within 5 seconds. You will figure it out after how to do it. That's my motto. Someone asks me to do something that I think will probably help me, but it's a little scary. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And then I wait an hour and think about, oh shit, now I said yes to that. How am I going to figure that out? But I just say yes usually, because I know it's going to help me grow as a person. Okay. And part of that courage is that you have to be courageous in this, because I know what it's like to reach out to people, because that is one of the scariest things in this business for a lot of coaches, is reaching out to people. It's that apologetic pitch to people. Well, I'm running this accountability group, but you just have that fire and confidence, and all goes back to PD and all that stuff. But listen, I think courage leads to some cool stuff. Here's a story about Kim and I. I've felt this way my whole life about courage, not just becoming a coach, but I am not a ladies' man. I never was. I'm not that dude in the bar who goes and picks up girls or talks to them. I'm actually very introverted and shy. But for whatever reason, one night in, I think it was November 2000 and what?
It was August.
Whatever. 2000 and what? 2000 and what?
I was 22. What year was that?
It doesn't matter how young you were. What year was that?
What year that was. I don't know. I can't count. I'm not going to math or geography.
We kind of met a few times, right? We hadn't even met. We never spoke to each other.
I just loved him for 4 months.
A girl used to run by our store, and I owned a retail store, and she used to run by, and it would be a regular occurrence. So I would go out every morning and sweep, hoping to see her all the time. And you know, when someone's running, you can't really tell who they are because she's got her stuff on and she's sweating and stuff like that. And then I would see her all the time, and then I played hockey at this rink, and we're Canadian, eh? And the restaurant had there was a restaurant in the middle, and then there was 4 rinks surrounding it. And every Thursday I'd go and play hockey, and I'd come up, and she was waitressing there, and I was like, oh. And I would joke with guys. I'd be like, hey, let's go up and see my girlfriend, and we'd never spoken. And I
would clear the tables and make sure the waitresses and the bartenders knew they were sitting in my section because I really liked this guy.
We'll get to the end of the story.
Anyway.
So we never spoke to each other, but I literally, you know, I know we all say we're picky, but I'm picky. And I knew there was this girl around by the store, and I knew there was this girl at waitress. I literally didn't know they were the same person. I didn't know, because when she was running, I couldn't recognize her. So one night I get set up on this blind date, and it's a group blind date. I don't really think it was a blind date. She thinks it was, but it was definitely a girl there was supposed to meet.
Definitely a blind date.
So there was a group of people. We got to this pub, and I walked in the door, the girl's beside me with the group of people, and this is that 5-10 seconds of courage. I can't remember the girl's name who I was with. I feel awful about it. Well, not really, but I literally, I looked over in the corner and I saw Kim in the corner, and I just left the group and this girl, and I just beelined to Kim, and we talked for probably
the whole night.
And that's not in my character. Yeah. I don't know but it was like, it's that 10 seconds of courage that you need, not only in life and business and all that stuff. I mean, it literally changed our whole world. I mean, we have two beautiful kids from it. And this coaching opportunity, I don't know if it ever would have come around if it wasn't for that. So you got to have courage in this, guys.
Yeah.
And in coaching, it's like, listen, the worst thing that's ever going to happen when you invite people or talk to people about the opportunity is like, it's just a simple no. And don't take that personally. It's not about you. It's really not. And I always go back to this. Like, this has completely transformed our lives and hopefully our future.
Yeah.
It's leading that way. Like, we retired Kim about 5 months ago. Crazy goal we had that we did it's still mind blowing to me. Imagine the shame. Imagine the shame in this. If I cared what like the few first and my buddies, because guys can be like that. If some of my buddies, you know, if I really listened to what they told me when I started this, and some of them told me some nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Imagine the shame if I'd listened to them. Like, how dare them change the course of our history and our family's life because I was worried about what someone else thought. And that's that courage piece, you guys.
It is. And the other thing is, when I told my parents, who are super supportive and awesome, to be honest, disclaimer, because this is not going to sound like they are. I told my dad, who's a lawyer and thinks very highly of titles and corporate jobs, and this is just what you do, and this is society's spell that I was tightly wound in. I said, Dad, I'm quitting my job. He goes, oh, perfect. You're quitting Beachbody. I'm like, no, Dad, I'm quitting. No, I'm quitting.
Like, what?
I'm quitting my corporate job. He's like, why would you do that? Anyway, and that's, again, it would be a shame if I had cared or I had felt pressured. And, you know, I'm officially retiring at the end of March. I'm working part-time right now, and we're really excited about that. It's taking courage, for sure. But it's doable, and we're going to do this. And so I'm going to talk to you guys. I'm going to kind of take over, thanks, James, and segue. And we want to talk about today, you know, first of all, social media. First of all, who you are on social media, who you want to be on social media, and how you show up in social media. And how do you pull your brand and who you are through to your potential clients, your coaches, your customers, your followers, and your community. All right. So first of all, I want to talk about, first things first, what's called terminal comparison. Okay. So there's this thing called terminal comparison that a lot of Beachbody coaches are affected with. And it's when you creep other people and you just compare yourself. And then you try to go do a post, but you're not inspired because you just don't feel good enough or whatever. So you just don't give your best self. So first of all, comparison is the thief of joy, which I know you all know, but I'm going to remind you of that. You are you. You are perfectly you, and you are exactly who people want to be with. You are the people that the coaches are signing or the clients are signing up with because you are who you are, not because you've done what other people are doing. So comparison is like, let's X that out right now, because I want to talk about 3 R's. And one night, Jamie and I, after a call, we were on one of our calls with our coaches, our young team.
Drinking wine.
Probably drinking wine for sure. And I said, James, here's what needs to happen. This is what needs to happen for our team with social media. 3 R's. They need to be real, they need to be relatable, and they need to be a resource. And I want to unpack those for you. So first of all, being real means that you have to have a connection so deep to your why that you need to be able to articulate that. So your why, your connection to your why is crucial. Being real means you make a plan and you do not miss a day on your plan. We do not take vacation, and I know that it's Christmas and the holidays and you deserve that. However, you still need to be present in what your business is and where you're at. And when you're real, you're able to shine a light on other people without the fear of your own light being dimmed, right? And that's really important by being real, guys. You need to be okay with shining your light on your coaches, on your team, on you, on your spouse, on whoever is going to make you be, whoever is a part of your story and whoever is a part of your community. You have to tie that in at a visceral level of realness so that it's authenticity on steroids, we call it, mm-hmm. Right? So that when someone comes to talk to you, see you, when they hear, hey girl, they know that's you, that's your voice talking. I don't say, hey girl. No, you
doesn't come over quite the same way.
So when you're being real, guys, that means you're showing up as you every day. And what that means is that you need to be able to tell your story. Okay. So when you tell your story, that means you are showing up on social media. That means you are posting 3 to 5 times a day. That means that you are diversifying your content so that you are not an infomercial, right? That's the thing. Are you showing beautiful parts of what you're passionate about? Do you love fitness? Do you love faith? Do you love health? Do you love wellness? Do you love nature? Do you love photography? Do you love your children? Do you love your dogs? How are you infusing the realness of who you are into your posts? You have a really good exercise that you get people to do. Is it really quick? Just want to shake it down as a takeaway?
Yeah, it's one thing like I talk about opinions of others, and you don't want to worry about opinions of others, but in a business sense, you do want to worry about how people view your page, right? Like that's your retail store. It's your page for the most part. So a really good exercise we get our coaches to do, and we do it too, is like make 5 categories. You can make like one is business mentor, one is coach, one is someone who likes to work out a lot, one is a family person. You create like 5 or 6 categories, and you go through your last 30 or 40 posts on social media. Go through them all and put them in a category. And you're going to get a really good feel at the end of the exercise what you're primarily posting about and what you're putting out there to your audience. Because like if 30 of your 40 last posts are you working out in the morning, well, that's great. People know you work out a lot. But do they know you have a business opportunity for them? Mm-hmm. Do you know you have an awesome accountability group that you're starting in 3 weeks?
Do you know you have a service?
Yeah. All those things are what's going to attract people. And that's just a really little simple exercise you can do to get a feel for maybe where you can kind of move the direction of some of your posts and stuff.
Yeah. And I think to Jamie's point too, guys, if you see that you're heavily weighted in one bucket, it doesn't mean that you have to stop doing all those things, but it means, how do I apply my business, my brand, my service, my servant leadership to those posts so that they're intentful? We should never be in a point, guys, where you're throwing a post up because you're posting to post. That's where you start to run into a little bit of problems, right? Mm-hmm. So what we encourage you to do is be as real as you can, run through that exercise, but then how do you apply walking a dog, for example, to your business? Do you have the flexibility because now you're able to, whatever, run home from work, or you're working from home that day, whatever that is, how are you going to apply that to your business, your brand, and to this opportunity?
We just look at it as, and maybe this isn't a news flash, but we don't try to talk about topics. We try to document our life.
Yeah.
And tie that back into the business and what we're sort of doing.
Totally.
And this is, I don't know if you're going to touch on it, but I'll say it now. This is why we just so strongly believe in Facebook Live. I know it's scary for some people. I know it gets you uncomfortable. Listen, it's that courageous part. And once you start doing it a while, it gets more comfortable because you're so authentic on Facebook Live, and we mess up going live. We say stupid shit all the time.
Do you know that Venus, the planet, is not Venice, Italy?
Yeah, we had.
I said that. Have fun in Venus, meaning have fun in Venice on Facebook Live. But you just have to roll with it, guys. And I think that's what shows your personality. I interrupted you. Sorry.
That's okay.
I do that a lot.
But yeah, the point being, like, it's that is, here's the thing. You have a trust meter with people, right? Potential challenger is interested. We all get in that conversation. We're like, oh, come on, baby, get them over, let's, and that trust meter, if you can go live a lot and they get to know you as people, and we're pretty much dorks in every sense of the word. And we show that in our live videos. But it keeps us real. People know who we are.
Yeah.
And then when we get in that conversation of joining an accountability group and purchasing a challenge pack, the trust meter's up here already.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have to wade through all the bottom stuff of who we are, what we do. Are we real? Are we relatable? Yeah. What's our accountability group going to be like? Because they've been watching us for a while. Yeah. They know who we are.
And we talk about it all the time. Yeah. We talk about it all the time. We talk about what we're doing, how we're doing. We create what we like to call FOMO, fear of missing out. Mm-hmm. Oh no, Monica, I hope you're okay. We haven't tried our agility ladders yet. Just reading the comments there. But that's a good example, right? So I think going live is so key, guys. It shows how real you are. The second thing is about being relatable. So we can't have every day and every post and everything cannot be perfect. Because if you're so perfect, or you're so afraid of being perfect, we are not relatable. So the best thing you can do is being real. Tell your story so that you're relatable, guys, because personal equals universal. So the more personal you are, the more universal you are. And what I mean by that is that when people are listening to your story, guys, they're just listening to hear their story. They just want to hear that they're not alone, and that they used to eat Cheetos too, and then they shut the bag down, and it's just, they're not eating that when their spouse walks in. Whatever that is, whatever your story is, guys, don't be afraid of it. You have to be able to know that when you bring your story to life, you bring connection, guys. You bring connection, you bring love, you bring humanity, and you bring universal connection back into this business. And Carl Deichler says that all the time. This is about relationships. This is about, the power of us. And the more that we can be together, the better it is, okay? So, you have to be the master of your story. And you have to really be the master of your craft, of your expression. How do you communicate well? Is it on live? Is it through messages? Is it through pictures, etc.? So you need to make sure that you are building that humanity, that connection, that personal connection. Because what happens, guys, is you attract your tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe. And the more you tell your story, the more you are who you are, your tribe will find you. And when I say tribe, I mean your coaches, your clients, your potential coaches. your downline finds you, right? Because how you train, how you lead, your coaches lead, and then their coaches lead those ways too, guys. So you model, and that's key. And we are one, right? When you believe that in yourself so much and you have the power of belief in who you are, people want to believe in themselves too, right? Those I am statements are huge. So if you believe in that, and you know, the more you communicate through your comments, the more you engage with people, the better it is, okay? The other thing is with social media, guys, is it is not about likes. It is about engagement. So if you are not getting engagement from your posts, you're going to want to look at them. I really believe in researching. I research so much of the algorithms of social media, Instagram. I research who is liking my posts, when they're liking my posts. I research how many comments, engagement. Okay, they really liked when I went live cooking. They loved when I was talking about unpacking my groceries. I'm going to do that more. You have to be a researcher of your own business and of your own brand and of what you're doing, because what's working is what's going to give you traction and what's going to give you engagement.
Yeah, this may sound like the obvious, but one thing Kim's really good at is that she'll do it. We'll do a post. Either of us will do a post. We tag each other and everything. But you know, you'll get comments down there. Kim is obsessive in a good way about commenting everyone. And if the person comments back, Kim will comment back. Person comments back. Kim,
last person with the words.
Yeah, Kim gets the last word in every time of every conversation. Like, it's that engagement. Like, everyone who not everyone who likes necessarily, but everyone who comments on a post, it's just engage with them. It's building that relationship and that rapport.
Yeah. And
you literally won't let people get in the last comment.
No, and the other thing is don't just have surface responses, guys. Don't say thank you. You know, no, go and engage them back. Engagement is key. And if you engage people with a purpose, even more people will find you. You have to have a vision and a purpose to your story, guys. And if your story still owns you, you have some work to do. Okay? If your story still owns you and it's painful and you can't talk about it, then you've got to do some personal development, okay? And I've been there, trust me. I've just started to be able to get through posts without bawling my face off. So, and that's not a bad thing, but you also need to make sure that you're able to lead you first before you can lead other people. So I believe that in this business. The last thing I want to talk about is being a resource. So you have to make sure, guys, that you're not just posting to post. What are you being a resourceful for? What are you being a resource of, right? Is that awesome recipes? Is it crockpot recipes? Is it whatever that may be? But how are you being a resource? Are you shedding light on, you know, for me, I love inspiring women because I was not living my life the way I knew I was born. Literally, if we had more time, I'd tell you my story. But literally, guys, I was given a gift of life. I was given up. There was a life given up for my life. And there was a bigger purpose of why I am in this world. I just had to figure that out. And I needed a match. And I needed to be the one that lit my own match, but I needed help. And until I could take control of that story, guys, I wasn't as effective. I wasn't as inspired, and I wasn't the best woman, mom, person I could be. And there's so many people out there, guys, that need that help. So for me, when I'm posting, I make sure I put up quotes. I swear in my quotes, and I know I probably shouldn't, but I do. And I talk about badass, and I talk about, you know, taking control of your life and loving the shit out of yourself. And if we do not love ourselves, guys, we will not be successful in this business. I'm going to tell you that right now. And maybe that's not the right thing to say, but I believe it to be true because I've seen it. And if you do not believe in the product and you do not believe in what you're doing and you are not being a resource and you are not showing up every day, it will not work. So channel your love for yourself first. Be real, be you, be imperfectly perfectly you, because that's what people want to see. You have to be relatable. I'm not good at math or geography, and everyone knows it in the entire world. I'm convinced, and that's fine. Own that. And then lastly, be a resource. Find what you're passionate about, guys, and rock it. And don't be afraid if you get 2 likes, if that's the mission and the message you want to share to this greater world. I hope that all of you, because this is our mission, we want to leave the world better than when we found it every single day, in every interaction. And that is what our mission is. And we will do that through the vehicle of Beachbody, and we will continue to share our message. But you have to be real, you have to be relatable, and you have to be a resource, guys.
Let me just close it out here, because I know we're going long on time, but you have to define what your own definition of success is. Like, I don't want you to think we're sitting here saying you have to, do what we're doing and work nonstop, yada, yada, yada. You have to define what success is to you. And that comes in all shapes, sizes, timelines. That is something you have to determine for yourself. What I will say, though, is if you really want it, or at least you say you really want it, and you want that, what everyone talks about, and you're like, yep, I'm going elite, I am top whatever, I want to make X amount so I can come home. Like, if that's something you really want, you have to be unreasonable in your behaviors. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel anyway. You have to be unreasonable in your behaviors so that people look at you and go, holy shit, he's doing that again?
Yeah.
Honestly, like that, I'm being real with you. That is what it will take. Yeah. It's what it will take.
100%.
Unreasonable results require unreasonable behavior. Efforts. And the problem lies that we all have different definitions of hard work.
Yeah.
All our definitions are different of what hard work really is. And it's up to you to define what that is for yourself. And maybe you have to redefine it to achieve something that you haven't achieved yet.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
That's what we have for you.
There was that pause where I felt like I needed to come in gently. Wow. First of all, I've been getting texts and messages on Facebook the whole entire time. Awesome call. Freaking awesome call. So you guys, I don't even know how to thank you, because that was really, really, really solid, perfect delivery. You guys are like the cutest. Everybody's like, why are they so perfect? I'm like, wow. I don't know why they're so perfect, but they are. But thank you. You guys obviously deserve every ounce of success that you are having and that you will have into the future. I can't wait to celebrate your top 10 accomplishment as a team. You guys, unbelievable. Yes, you will. You're going to rock and you're going to do it. And we're going to be cheering you on, whether you're in Miami or wherever you are, Diesel Nation. Make sure we are now officially Jamie and Kim mega fans. That is awesome. I mean, I could sit here and summarize and rehash everything that you said. It was so spot on. And, Jamie, you said it early in the call. Listen, what we're going to say is probably not something you've never heard before. I say that every time I do a call, I say that. You guys are not going to hear anything that you haven't already heard. It's in the delivery and whether you are ready to receive that information. And I hope that you guys are here, though there was at our peak 150 coaches on this call. I hope that tonight you received this information at this very critical time of the year where you can turn around and not only feel nice and fuzzy when you get off this call, but actually take massive action. And I agree with Jamie. We talked about this at Summit, that you have to define success on your own terms. But if you want big, you have to act big. You can't just talk big. And I went live on my PS team page today and I talked about, so many people say at this time of the year what they want the next year. So few actually achieve it because it is all lip service, because you're not ready to be unreasonable in your behavior. I didn't get to where I am now. Becky did not get to where she is now. You guys did not get, Jamie and Kim did not get to where you are now by playing safe. It just doesn't happen when you play safe. You have to put yourself out there. You have to ignore whatever criticism or hate you are going to experience. Trust me, in the long run, all of that is but a drop in the bucket to what value you can add to your life and to your children's lives with this opportunity. So I will close it there. Jamie and Kim, I love you. Thank you so much.
Love you too. Thank you.
I'll share this recording with you so you can share it with your team. And congratulations. And you guys have a great night, and we will see you soon. Love you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. See you later.